Welcome back to First Time Fishkeeper. I hope your aquarium's running well and that your first fish are well settled. Today we'll look at water changes and, all being well, introduce some more fish. As we've seen, filtration works by using bacterial action to break down waste from the fish into less harmful forms. These waste products may be less harmful but are not harmless. Indeed, their accumulation in the water leads to a condition best described as old tank syndrome. Fish are adaptable creatures and can make the most of situations that are far from ideal if allowed to respond gradually. As the water in an aquarium builds up increasing levels of nitrate, phosphate and other metabolic byproducts, the resident fish build up a tolerance to this pollution as they would to water in a shrinking pool. The water level may drop due to evaporation and get topped up with tap water. This distills the impurities as only pure water vapour has been lost. Your aquarium remains clear but might develop a white wine tint that's easily overlooked. The fish seem healthy, although some of the more delicate types might develop minor health issues. Without testing, there's little indication of the high levels in your water. Too many people only test their water when things go wrong, or worse still, not at all. Often, the first sign of trouble is when new fish are introduced and respond to the high levels of waste by dying or becoming ill. The first response is to blame the new fish. After all, the existing fish seem perfectly healthy. Sadly, this is a common scenario familiar to anyone who's ever worked in a fish shop. And this is why any good retailer will insist on a water sample as part of any livestock guarantee procedure. To avoid the loss of healthy fish, it's vital to carry out regular partial water changes on your aquarium. Just think of it like walking your dog, a regular chore that ensures the health of your pets. A water change pump removes the need to lift heavy buckets or barrels of water. Carried out correctly, a water change can only be beneficial and will save you from the kind of major overhaul that's stressful for all concerned.
As a rule, it's best to change less than 50%. Larger changes can lead to dramatic swings in water chemistry and temperature. I'd advise changing between 10 and 25% weekly for a tank stocked with small community fish, depending on your water chemistry readings. This is the same regardless of the size of your aquarium. Remember the old saying, the solution to pollution is dilution.
If your tap water contains high levels of pollutants, it may be better to use the purified water known as RO, or reverse osmosis. RO is much lower in dissolved salts than tap water and usually needs to have some of these minerals, or buffers, replaced before use. Without these essential minerals, natural acids can lower the pH of your aquarium to a point where it becomes harmful to both your fish and your filter bacteria. If you live in a naturally soft water area, the same buffers can be added to ensure the health of your aquarium. As water changes are all about removing waste, it makes sense to hoover any solid waste from the tank before it breaks down. For this, we use a gravel cleaning siphon, and the wide intake is designed to let the substrate fall while the lighter muck gets carried away. It's best to unplug the heater so there's no risk of it running dry. And you might want to unplug the filter too, to avoid too much splashing. A handy tip is to use the same size containers for removing and replacing water. This takes the guesswork out of refilling. The water taken from your aquarium is fertile stuff and can be used to water houseplants or even recycled in the garden. As the aquatic plants will have taken out most of the useful nutrients such as iron, it's a good habit to add fertiliser every time you do your weekly water change. Add a water conditioner to the new water before adding it to the tank. This will remove chlorine, chloramine and heavy metals. Hot water from the kettle can be used to bring it up to temperature, and this doesn't need to be too precise as long as it feels approximately the same to the touch. Use the thermometer if you're unsure. Add the new water to your aquarium and keep an eye on the danios while the tank is uncovered. These are curious fish that are happy to jump and explore, especially with fresh water coming in. With the water change complete, it's time to add more fish. To introduce some colour, we've chosen a group of Platies. These are great fish for the beginner or experienced fish keeper alike, with a wide range of colours that can all be mixed freely. Males and females look alike, but can be told apart by the male's modified anal fin. This spike-like structure enables him to get well acquainted with the female during mating, as these are live bearers that give birth to fully formed miniature Platies. If you'd rather not breed your fish, a group of males will be a better choice. As a hard water fish, Platies may need a little extra buffer added to be happy in soft water areas. We add them to the tank in the same way as the danios. Platies are more herbivorous than the danios and will peck away at algae growing on plants and decor. To provide them with a green element to their diet, tablet foods can be given that contain algae. Most fish will graze on these, and if stuck to the front glass, it can be fascinating to watch. This mimics a natural process of slowing the feed rate, allowing fishes to take their time filling their stomach. With the Platies added, the filter bacteria will be facing a higher loading, so we'll add a dose of our bacterial supplement to boost their numbers. It's still important to test the water to make sure that your new fish remain healthy. If you do detect any ammonia or nitrite, add bacteria, cut back the feeding and perform a small partial water change. For now, enjoy the antics of your new pets as they explore their home.